ultra shorter term route or liquid route to get into, what will he get? Hardly anything, a few hundred rupees, and his expense is much more. So there has to be some collective way how to get the people on board to take the cost, which level we take the cost, and how we can let it there be a session on how to increase it to 2 lakhs in next 1 year. So maybe we all from the industry can sit together, can have a project that how to increase the number of people without going into whether it is going to SBI mutual fund or Reliance mutual fund or Axis mutual fund. If we do that and increase the number, go to the colleges, make them distributors eligible from when they come out of college, and then I think skill development in which government is talking about, if we can do something together, which we really are very seriously thinking about to partner with somebody and through skill development if we can do something. So that is a cause we have to get into, and unless and until we increase the number of distributors, this industry is not going to work. And second thing, I'll be very candid, we all of us keep on talking about technology and all, but there is definitely some inhibition. There's a conflict when we talk to the distributor for using technology. A distributor doesn't really want to do that.
I thought I will, I agree with you, sir. Yeah, I wanted Karan to take that question because he's facing the problem head on. Because what happens really is that I think this is valid that unless we have a format in which we are able to bring in lakhs of distributors into the business, who find it worthwhile to do this, for us to get to where we want to might turn out to be difficult. But, there is also this consistent threat. See, on the one side, you have regulation which makes changes. And on the other side, there is this worry in the minds of distributors, that somehow the industry may bring in technology or, do things like direct plan, which will circumvent them. Whatever little margin I'm making today, I will stop making it once you create platforms and once you create technology solutions and get the investor to go directly there. That fear is there among distributors. How would you allay those worries?
So I'll go into that question, Uma. Just give me 30 seconds before that. One of the discussions is about scale, etc. I'd also seriously suggest that we also look at life from the consumer's perspective once again, because it's quite interesting that while Monica was presenting, she mentioned that if she has to buy a mutual fund, she has to go back to Kaizad and ask him, which in turn gives me the view that we've made life very, very complicated. And hence the communication is quite complex. One of the possible ways, something that we've overlooked as an industry that the regulator has actually done, is he's forcing AMCs to crunch down the number of products and bring that down. I think that's a great step. Uma, I also wanted to just share with you that asset allocation funds, while it's spoken a hell of a lot, we've seen success of that in the AMC. I've probably added 1.5 lakh brand new customers to the industry because they just like to lose less. So what I'm just saying is part of this entire scale, etc., is also about product architecture, and the regulators trying to crunch down the number of products. And in the future, we also do think that automatic asset allocation funds will become quite an agreeable format for investors. To your question on technology and the inherent conflict it may have with distributors, my question is, what are your options? How many of you in this room use the Nokia 3-year-old phone today? What are the options? This is not about conflict between the manufacturer and the distributor. This is about addressing the needs of the customer who's asking you to look at his goals and dreams. And that's the only plain simple truth that matters today. And what we're just trying to say is, if that is what the investor wants, you will need the infrastructure for that. And it's actually all of us on this. In fact, AMCs will have to come together, create this, such that it goes out to the distribution community, and hence the conversation changes between the distributor and the consumer. And it all boils down, I'm not a technology guy at all, Uma. I barely use my computer like a typewriter. But what I can now foresee for sure is that it's all about dreams and goals of your consumers, and that will require some change which requires the infrastructure. So it's not about conflict out here. And the issue of direct plans and issue of circumventing, see, fundamentally manufacturers manufacture products. That's what we are supposed to do. The direct plan and the introduction of that is something that is still on. So what if tomorrow an AMC creates a 1,500 man army to go and sell to clients directly? That's as damaging as creating an infrastructure. So what I'm just saying is, I think it's in the common interest between the distribution community and the AMCs to figure out what the consumer is trying to tell us, get less complex, talk his language, and hence use the infrastructure.
Can I just add to this? I'll give you some numbers. From a, and since technology is being used and there is a perception of it being a threat. So between 2003 and 2008, roughly 3 crore new folios got added. Between 2008 and 2014, 1 crore folios moved out, right? And I was just analyzing and look at some of the numbers. Last year, in this industry, roughly 33 lakh folios moved out net last financial year. Out of which, if you divide which kind of people went out, folios which are less than 1 lakh, which are retail, pure retail folios, was about 38 lakh negative. And anyone who was above that, including HNIs and other things, were almost roughly 5-6 lakh positive. Now, what it means is that for those investors who were so small, and we haven't been as an industry been able to reach out to them itself. And so that's why even after when you have a steady stream of people coming in, and I believe that the people who were coming in were advised investors where you could touch base, where the investors were large enough for the distributors to put their efforts on. Those were coming in, but people whom we were not able to reach out, they were going out, and they're still going out. In this market, every month you are losing out net folios. So what is the option? Again, I'm coming back to the same question. If you are not able to reach out to them, the only best way to reach out to them is technology. And technology is not only B2C technology. It is not only business to consumer. Why can't we build business to consumer? And there are so many such options available. We have recently launched something which is known as distributor initiated transaction. A distributor can just take once a mandate and lifelong transact on behalf of the customer, and obviously we have checks and balances in place. So you don't need to go to the 20 kilometers down to pick up a check or pick up an SIP or give a redemption. You can do it sitting at the desk. So technology is becoming all pervasive, and I think the next drive, which will not only from a revenue, from a business, but also from a servicing angle, will also be driven by this.
Very true. Aditi wanted to add to those points. Go on.
I agree with what he said. The technology should never be a conflict here. The technology is not only B2C. I don't feel that the threat that people perceive that customers are going to come directly through the direct plan is any kind of threat. I mean, distributors in India are here to stay. We really truly believe that, okay? The distributors, so amongst the distributors, the ones that are really going to make it though are the ones whose advice is going to be true advice, and it's not just going to be distribution. So it's going to be the ones who can add value somewhere to their customers. And a customer doesn't have the time today. Do you realize how much we have to do and how many websites there are and how many things there are to do? Who has the time to sit and research so many fund houses, 44 fund houses, 43 fund houses, and then decide which fund they want and what they want to do? They need someone who can filter that for them. So I agree with Himanshu said that it's the technology that we need to provide is not just the technology, is not as much as B2C as we need to provide to you. And at DSP BlackRock, we do believe that we need to help you, help our investors or our potential investors best. So what we really need to do is educate you. And so again, back to investor education really means IFA education. And I mean, the way we think of it is really quickly, I'm going to give you a quick recap of the way we think of it, is that first, know yourself. Okay, for that, we actually on our website, we have, a psychometric test that you can take and really see where you stand amongst the best of the, about 60 best IFAs around India. So we've mapped the 60 best IFAs, and if you take the test, you can see where you stand in your soft skills. And I think that's really important. So know yourself. Also, there's another thing that, the second thing is really know your customers. Within that also, you need to know yourself on how you can deal with different customers. Again, on our site, there's a personality types presentation, which is important for you all to know that if this kind of customer, how do I behave with that kind of customer? Okay, but first in your mind, you need to know who your customer is, and so one big thing to do is risk profiling. I want to know in this room, how many of you all do some serious risk profiling when your customer first comes in? Uma, take a note here. That's it. I would like to see all the hands up, because if you don't know your customer and what the customer really wants, then how are you going to give the customer what he really needs? And my point here is that once you risk profile, you get them to sign it. And you keep checking if the risk profile is the same or has changed every 2 years. Because today, I can come in and say, yeah, markets are up. I am all about being risky. Yes, I want to invest in equity funds and just put all my money in equity funds. And you say, are you sure? I'm going to take a risk profile of you. What are your goals? What is this? And you can say, listen, by the questions you've answered me, I think you're a medium risk guy. Let's put some money in fixed income. And trust me, when the market goes down, he'll be really happy that you gave him that advice. But only the distributor can do that, because if he had to go himself and do it, he probably would go and put all his money in equity. So again, the distributor is here to stay, and we're here to help you with tools like risk profiling, what you need to do. So there's Finametrica. You can go onto our website. We have an access to that for you all. So you need to know that. Third thing you need to do after that is understand his goals. So financial planning is important.
I get that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then after that, of course, you need to know what sort of funds. You need to select your funds. And lastly, you need to know on how to monitor them. So I said at the end of the day, it's us helping to educate you and you helping to educate your customer in the right way.
True. All right. So I think that's a valid point that I do know. I can claim to have trained people who are sitting in this room, some of them here, sitting here. I do understand that there is a huge amount of eagerness, if you're talking about the distributing community, to be empowered, to know, to keep themselves updated, to be up there and to conduct business efficiently, and to be able to get, scale and reach more people, etc. But I do also think that we seem to be operating with these constraints that are present. And I would only hope that going forward, we are able to, get efficiencies and not continue to keep becoming prisoners of, regulatory, procedural, policy, technology constraints that I think have been around. I believe that the time perhaps has come for the industry to not get bogged down with those, but to be able to break away. I think we will kind of run out of time in terms of things that we can discuss. I would want a quick closing note from all of you on one topic that's dear to my heart, which is to say that the product. I envision a mutual fund industry in which there are billions of distributors who go to their customers and say, this is good for you, buy this. Today, I think that process has become complicated because there are always new products which are launched, or there are existing products that have got changed, or products have got renamed, or products are looking complicated. Somewhere I want your one-point view or a closing note on how you think this whole mutual fund product business is going to work, because I do believe we need to simplify this. We should not keep doing, I believe that what we did in FMP was a good exercise in terms of a standard product being offered by multiple funds and customers knowing what that product is and being able to pick it up. But unfortunately for the industry, I think that product came under the regulatory scanner. I'm only asking, can we do what we did in FMP in equity? Can we have one diversified equity fund that does large, mid, small, well-diversified, doesn't have sector bias, can deliver an alpha over a broad-based index and is available to everybody? Because ultimately, what is the distributor wanting? The distributor wants to reach multiple people and tell them, buy this, this is good for you. You know, without going into so much of detail. So I just want to know quickly from